Yo, yo, you know what it is. We are live. We are live. We are live. We are live. This is the motherfucking check in. This is the motherfucking check in. You gotta excuse us for a minute, man. We just did, on Sundays we do three shows back to back to back. Turn the main volume down. And it's sometimes it's kind of difficult to go from, super high energy to, to be calm and to be collected. You know what I'm saying? And so we definitely appreciate the patience for people that do watch the show and that do check in with us. You know what I'm saying? Uh, we don't be forgetting. We don't be running late because we want to. But like I always say, we late, but we always on time. You know what I'm saying? Because this show is extremely, extremely important. So don't forget, like when we do the check-in, if we are late, we always go on at 8:30. But if we happen to be late, it's because shit. On Sundays we do three shows back to back to back, not the check-in. You know what I'm saying? We do Trash Tales, then we do Shy City Cipher, and then we do the check-in. Sometimes these shows run over and we got to make up time. But and it's difficult to go from crazy ass high energy and talking crazy and being a wild man to sitting down and being serious because I do take this show very very serious because mental health is extremely important. It's just as important as your fucking uh, as your physical health. Shit, it'll fuck your physical health up if you're not uh, careful with that. You know what I mean? If you don't have your mental health up, your physical health can deteriorate. But with all that being said, I'm your boy Heat Detector. You know what I'm saying? This is the check in. I got my co-host. He walked in late, but he's always on time. This is
I was walking somebody out, but yeah,
nah.
man,
I explained it.
we in the building.
Yeah, like I said. Again, I'm gonna repeat it just one more time. We have multiple shows that we do, and sometimes they go over, but we will always do the check-in. So always if you see it's 8:30 and we ain't on yet, just hang tight. We're gonna be there. And then sometimes like tonight, we had a bunch of people the whole time in the studio, and we gotta get everybody out. We gotta do all this other shit. Then we gotta go from high energy to get serious. So bear with us in that. You want to give them the disclaimer, Jizzo?
Yeah, we're not licensed psychologists or therapists, so don't sue us if you hear things you don't want to hear. This is a show where you're gonna hear things you need to hear.
Yeah. And like I always say, if you got cotton candy ass ears and your motherfucking ass gets offended easy, if your ass is whatever kind of way, you grew, you know what I'm saying, you dream of fucking unicorns and bunny rabbits and cotton candy in your ears, man, this is not for you. Don't come at us, man. Just change the goddamn channel. You don't have to listen to this. You don't have to listen to us. We're giving our opinions, and maybe in our opinions, somebody can get some knowledge, some understanding. You know what I mean? By our mistakes, or even by our growth. You know what I'm saying? Because with growth, you got to have mistakes. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, it is what it is, man. You're in the check-in right now, and you said you had a what you call it for the show this week, right? Yeah, you said that last week. I don't remember what it was though, and you said you wrote it down.
No, we have not spoke about.
Yeah, we spoke about it last week. Like, but nevertheless, because I figured something like this might happen.
You figured what? We didn't talk about it.
We did. We talked about it after the show last week, and you said you had a great idea, and I agreed with you, and then you put it in your phone so you wouldn't forget because I told you don't forget.
That was last week's show.
Yeah, for this week is what I'm talking about. You had an idea for the show for this week. While he looks for that, I'll say something that was just heavy on my mind this morning and all day is tell everybody in your life you love them. Tell everybody in your life you love them. We haven't had no loss or anything like that, thank God. But it was just heavy on my heart, man, to let those people that are around me and near me, to let them know that I truly love them and care about them. you know, and I'm on my own journey as it is, you know, getting my shit right, getting my head right. And I may not have told everybody that I love them enough, or may not have told them, period. You know what I'm saying? In my hard headedness. But I'm learning and understanding that, at least for me, it's important to let those around you know how much you really care about them and how much you love them. It's important because I don't know, man. It's just, for me, it's just important as fuck. You know what I mean? I'm learning how important it is. You know, I'm a motherfucker that literally learned, it feels like last week, but just recently, what like love really means, to really love somebody. I've always had homies and friends and shit like that, or even girlfriends and everything. Like, I love you, but yo, love is like, it's some different shit. Like, when you really understand it and know it, it's not a feeling, man. It's an action. You know what I'm saying? It's not a feeling. People get that shit mistaken. You know, love is an action. I can choose to love somebody, and I can choose not to love them, and that's a fact. It feels like a feeling. It does, and you can get hurt by those hurt feelings. Those are hurt feelings, but not because you love somebody. Not because love is a choice. I can choose not to love you too. I can choose to not be in love. I can choose to do whatever. It's a choice. We choose who we love. You get to a point in time where you feel some type of way about somebody, then you say, you know what? I fucking love that person. You know what I mean? It didn't take me long. I like, we've been knowing each other. I've seen you around, but even just knowing you in the last year and a half, almost 2 years, I knew immediately, like, man, I love this fucking dude. You know what I'm saying? I didn't need to have to really know you. I knew that I loved you. I loved the way you carried yourself. I love how you interacted with people. I loved how, you know, when I saw you in action, and just the things that people say about you, I was like, man, I fucking love this dude. And I mean that shit. You know what I mean? And it's important. It's like I told you today, man. I do fucking love you. No matter what, we can have all the differences in the world. We can think differently. We can act. I mean, we're human beings. We're gonna be different. But I fucking love you, man. And I love those around me. And I think it's just been on my heart, man, like, to really just stress that super hard, that you love motherfuckers. You know, it's important, man. I was talking to somebody today, and they don't really have a relationship with their father, and I was like, well, how often do you guys talk? Oh, sometimes when he calls, and you know, he barely does that, and it's usually when he wants something. I said, when do you call him? He's like, I don't ever call him. Well, that's part of the fucking problem. Why don't you call that man? You don't know what that man's going through, what he's been through, where his head's at. That's your father. But a lot of times we don't show our fathers the same empathy and compassion that we show our mothers. You know what I'm saying? And our fathers need that same type of love, and they need that same type of understanding. Maybe you call him and you just say, hey, man, I love you. I'm just checking on you. You ain't got to talk about nothing, and just end the conversation at that, because he's going to get away from that phone call, and he's going to say, holy shit. God damn. Maybe the next day you do it again. You good? Just checking on you, man. Just checking on you. And eventually, if there was a wall between you two, that wall gets broken down. And maybe that one time you call him, he's going to say, you know what? Maybe he never really spoke to you before, and he says, you know what? I'm not doing so good, son. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But he also needs to know that he's loved, man. There's a lot of motherfucking men out there walking around. They don't even realize that they're loved. They don't even realize they're loved by their parents. They don't realize they're loved by their peers. They don't realize they're loved by their children, because we walk around with a heavy burden on our backs and on our shoulders all the fucking time. And sometimes it feels like we ain't got time to be loving on a motherfucker. We ain't got time to be, or I'm too goddamn macho or something. I'm too much of a man to tell this nigga I fucking love him. You know what I'm saying? Nah, homies don't do that. You know what I mean? Nah, fuck all that. Fuck all that. And that you telling someone that you love them and you mean it may be the difference in their day. It could be the difference in their life. It could be it could change a motherfucker's whole behavior, change a motherfucker's whole course of where he's going. You might tell him, hey man, I'm just checking on you, tell you I love you, and all of a sudden his course of action, or his course of where he was gonna go, makes a massive change that day. And had he went straight, You could have got shot. He might have gotten shot. He might have gotten into it with somebody. But instead of going off and doing what he did, you showed him some love. You told him you loved him, and he's like, God damn. Gets off the phone. He's like, man, that motherfucker Jizzle fucking loves me, man. You know what? I ain't gonna go bother this bitch, man. I'm gonna call him right back. See if he wants to go have a beer or something. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, let me call my mom. I ain't called her in a week or two. You know what I mean? I need to talk to my mom. You know what I mean? Or my dad or my brother or my sister. You know, and maybe you stop them from talking shit, calling somebody and talking shit, and change it to where they called them and said, "I love you," and then they changed, and then their relationship changed. The dynamic of it changes. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. What do you think, man?
Yeah, man.
Am I talking too much or what?
No, I think that definitely, yeah, like with a situation like that where you are trying to mend something, and yeah, I think the best step would be something like that, like try every day, try every day. I once had a friend tell me that he was done, that he wasn't gonna call his daughter, and his daughter was like 16, 17 at the moment and didn't want to talk to him, and he said he was done. And I just remember thinking like, nah, man, you're not done. Like you call back, you just wait a little while and you call again and you try again and you try again. um I don't have the 100 best relationship with my daughters, but I try to message them and call them and we talk, and I'm trying to be involved in what they're doing. And so, it all takes steps, because like with people, all it takes is like one situation for them to get upset. And usually it takes a lot more than that to fix it.
Right.
So um I would just say never stop trying to fix it. Never stop trying to fix it. Whatever it is that you're going through, whatever is the situation, always try to fix it. Especially if it's something that you care about, something that someone that you love, a family member, a significant other. Try to fix it. um there's always a way. Like even even in like the relationship with the mother of my daughters. I remember her saying one time, oh, if you only would have came, if you would have looked for me, or if we would have talked more and something. And you never know, like it could be true, but like what if there was that communication that was there. So I don't know. I don't like gloat on it or whatever it's called, like, but I just think back like, yeah, communication's a fucking thing. And so now in my new situations, I try to keep that shit open, keep the communication, keep the talking, keep the and keep it to talking, because some of y'all crazy out there, man, and y'all don't know how to fucking communicate. And a lot of that is people communicating in different fucked up ways. So yeah, try to keep it cool, man. Learn how to talk to your partner, your person, your loved one, your family member,
your homie, your friend, and all of that shit. It ain't even always got to be deep. You know what I'm saying? Pause. It just could be something as simple as calling them and checking in on them, calling them and saying, "Hey, what's up, man? I just want to let you know I fuck with you, man. I care about you. I love you." That's it. It doesn't need to be super intricate. It doesn't need to be anything. What it does is it opens up the gate. It opens up the door for more communication. It opens up the door for understanding. It opens up the door for compassion. It opens up the door for empathy. You know what I'm saying? Because and also the thing that I haven't talked about, because you never fucking know. Not that, like I said in the beginning, not that we have had anybody pass on us like that, like as of late or anything like that. God bless it. But you just don't know. You never know. And how you gonna feel if you were thinking about telling that person you love them and you didn't, and now maybe you were in an argument, maybe you had arguments or whatever, and now they're gone. You can't. I mean, you can tell them you love them, but they're gone. You won't see them again. I don't know, man. I just been thinking about that shit lately, and I think it's just extremely important. You know what I'm saying? So if you out there and you listening right now, even if you're listening or watching, text somebody or something. You know what I'm saying? Shy City Siva, she says that's real, and she put the fist emoji. The engineer ain't in here in the very moment, so I have to kind of read these off and not put them up on the screen. But I just felt it on my heart right now, and today to let that be the theme of just telling people you love them. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying you got to call everybody that you fucking know every day. I'm saying if you have a moment where you just thought about somebody, if I had a moment in the day and I hadn't seen or spoke to Jizzo, and I had a moment, I'm gonna call that motherfucker and I'm gonna be like, hey Jizzo, you good? Yeah. All right, man. I just called. I don't want shit. Just called to tell you, man, I fuck with you. I love you, brother. All right. Have a blessed day. That's it. We ain't got to talk about nothing. If it's my kids, same thing. Misfits TV says IDK disagree with the absolute rather than find peace. Hey, man, you can agree or disagree. I'm only speaking from my perspective. I don't know what anybody else thinks. I don't know what anybody else does, but from my perspective, and just like I said, on my heart today, it felt like uh, just telling somebody you love them. Period. Just telling somebody you checking in on them. Just telling somebody that you care about them. You ain't got to sit and talk to them. Just call that motherfucker, especially if they just come across your mind. You know what I'm saying? If I have an old friend, that's why I wanted to call him. I saw his picture and I just fuck. I started thinking. I was telling Jizzle earlier, this dude I know from way, 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 way back, popped up on my timeline, and I remember I had thought about him one day, and I found his ass on Facebook, and it was during COVID. And I hadn't seen or heard from this dude in such a long, long, long time. They tried to kill him. They tried to kill him when I knew him. They had blew like a quarter of his fucking head off and everything else. This motherfucker been shot, stabbed, everything, and they still trying to kill him. But this motherfucker's still alive. And when I talked to him on the phone, he's like, "Yeah, I've been shot, man, but I remember you, man. I remember you. I don't be remembering a lot of shit, but I remember you." You know what I'm saying? And that shit really hit me. So when I saw his post today, because I added him as friends, I haven't talked to him since COVID, but I saw that and I was like, "Oh shit." And I was telling Jizzle about him, and I was like, "Man, I gotta call this guy. I gotta call him and tell him that I fucking love him. I don't know if anybody loves that man anymore in his life. You know what I'm saying? He's all fucked up. They still trying to kill this motherfucker, damn near 60 years old, and but he was a menace back in the day. You know what I'm saying? And maybe he doesn't feel like anybody loves him or cares about him, but I do. I do. God damn it. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what the um, Shadow Master says. Much love to you. Love Jizzle. Love Heat. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Shout out to everybody on YouTube and Facebook watching. You know what I'm
Are we
saying?
on Rumble?
Yeah, we're on Rumble too. I just can't see the count. The engineer stepped out for a second.
Should I?
Sheba says people have to care enough to let people know they matter. Man, I like that.
Yeah,
It makes a
I
huge
see. I seen
difference.
a lot of that.
Yeah, she's saying it makes a huge difference to the person hearing it. Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Microphone Misfit says that's love.
We had
Yeah.
we had an artist here that's very well known artist, legendary artist, and he was a really humble dude, man. And it's and I felt like he had personalized conversations with every one of us that was here, got the phone numbers, and really showed that he cared. And we spoke about that on the interview about not being too good to show love to somebody and show them love for what they're doing. So it does go a long way, and it went a long way, and for all of us, like
Yeah.
that he was so interactive. So, pardon me. So yeah, it was dope. It was dope. I think it costs nothing to show love. Somebody told me earlier, one of our guests that was just here, he said, "Man, I told him, man, thank you so much. Shout out to Wick Mike." And I said, "Thank you so much, Mike, for showing love to all of our shows, and you're always watching, you're always commenting." He goes, "Man, it cost me nothing, dog." He was like, "It
Facts.
cost me nothing to watch and support and share your stream." So y'all take that in, man. Y'all can make somebody's day. Mike makes our day when he shares our shit, and you can make somebody's day as well by showing them love, telling them they're dope. Like, shit. I know there's some people that walk around and just compliment people and shit. Like, I don't know. Do something good, man.
Fanboy Podcast says, "Do y'all do artists from the Bay Area?" Yeah, we do, but this ain't the show to talk about it. This is a more of a mental health, being well in the mind show. But get at us at unwrap808 at gmail.com. Email me and we'll talk about that. But we don't really talk about artists and shit like that on this show. But I appreciate it though. Don't get me wrong. We appreciate the love and we appreciate it, respect it, and all that. But we don't really talk like that on this show. You know what I'm saying? But again, it's about the love, man. And I ain't saying like be all fucking stupid with it and be all gay about it. Not gay, whatever. Like I said, first of all, you heard the disclaimer. I might fuck around and say some wild ass shit. But it ain't nothing wrong with telling your guy you care about him and you love him. Ain't nothing wrong with it. There ain't nothing wrong with shaking that man's hand and giving him a firm ass hug and telling that motherfucker, don't worry, bro. I got you. I'm gonna hold you down, as a friend. I ain't saying run around in the streets and pull a gun out behind him and shit like that. I'm talking about holding his ass down. If you need me, I'm here type shit. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes that's all we need. That's all we need is just to know that a motherfucker's here. Like if I needed to lean on you, I ain't talking about I need you to come pick me up, man. I cop the flat. You know what I'm saying? I pretty much know you'll do that if you're not busy, if you're not doing something. But that friend that if I do call and I'm fucking going through it, I can lean on you. You know what I'm saying? And that I can talk to. This is why we do the check-in. You know what I mean? That, like, because we're all human. We all have fucked up shit that happens. We all deal with shit, and sometimes we feel like we don't have anybody to talk to, and we do. We have loved ones. We have friends. Some of them loved ones and friends may not even think we love them and care about them. That's why it's so important to tell these motherfuckers you love them. I tell the guys that be on the show, even D Nick, man, I love you every time. You know what I'm saying? OT, I love you. You know what I'm saying? I tell everybody I love them, and I love them for a reason. Everybody has a purpose in my fucking life. I believe that. You know what I'm saying? I love everybody for it, good, bad, or indifferent. Fuck it. It is what it is. It made me the man that I am today. It made me steadfast on a lot of things. And even now in my thought process now, it helped me through my thought process now. And that's why I'm saying, man, tell a motherfucker you love them. Let them know you're there, if need be, if they need them. You know what I'm saying? Because we all need something. We all need, we're human. We need interaction. Some people don't. Some people are weird like that. They don't need nobody. They can go sit in a room in the dark by themselves, and they don't need it. They don't give a fuck. But I would say, I would feel that it would be safe to say that person is struggling with some shit if that's how they feel. That are going through some shit. If they don't want human interaction, something wrong with your ass, and I beg you to seek some fucking help. We all kind of introverted and extroverted, I think, and sometimes there are people who are introverted. You know what I'm saying? But even they need somebody to lean on. You know what I mean? Even a person that's not shit. I'm an introvert, extrovert. You know what I mean? I love my fucking quiet time, but I love to run my fucking mouth too, and I love to talk to motherfuckers. And I love having friends. And sometimes it feels like I don't have any friends, even when these motherfuckers are sitting right in front of my face. It feels like they are not my friends sometimes. But doesn't mean I don't love them. I just feel that way for a moment. I feel that way for different reasons. I feel that way because of my own shit. I feel that way because of the things I've been through. I feel that way for whatever the fuck the reason is, but I do love them. I do love the fuck out of them. Hold on here. What did that the hold on. Microphone Misfit says no such thing is impossible. No such thing that is impossible. Yeah. If I'm reading that right, yeah.
What is he saying? No such thing to.
I know. I think there's no such thing that is impossible. Like there is nothing out there that's impossible. You mean even pigs flying is possible.
Shout out to Julius.
Yeah. I don't know, man. That's I don't know. That was just what's on my mind today, man. I feel like, especially now, I feel like in my mind, I suppressed a lot of love and respect and shit that I had for people in my life because of my own fears. Humans can't exist with our people. Hold on. Humans can't exist with our people. I don't know what that means. Unless he meant without people. I don't know. Damn. I kind of threw my thought. What was I saying? Shit. I forgot what the fuck I was saying. Something about something. Nobody's paying attention to that shit. I don't know. But yeah, this whole shit, my little journey, my shit, and just understanding, how to love and wanting to love everybody around me, and as tough as it may have been, because that's what it was. It was tough. It was tough for me to even understand that I was even loved. You know what I'm saying? Which made me feel like it was impossible to love, because I didn't feel like I was worthy of a person's love. And then I even struggle with that with my kids, man. I'm just like looking at them like, God damn, I don't deserve this shit. And then, or even looking at them like, do they really love me? Like really questioning that shit, man. And I shouldn't be questioning that shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, we don't have to love anybody, but
Yeah, that should be like the last one you question, you know?
yeah, and I know, but I'm just saying, like, but if you grew up and these things, you know, have been kind of got your wires in your brain kind of cross-eyed and fucked up. You know what I'm saying? These things happen. You know what I'm saying? But I know where I'm at now is like I just want to love on all my people. You know what I'm saying? On some real shit and let them know that I truly give a fuck. I give a fuck about what happens to you, to what happens to my sons, what happens to Mateo, what happens to my wife, what happens to my daughter, what happens to my friend over here, what happens to motherfuckers I meet. I truly give a fuck. Honesty. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, humans can't exist without people. Saad, what's happening, Saad? Shout out to Saad. That's another month. I met Saad years ago when I 18 years ago, as a matter of fact. Um, when I first got here, man. Shout out to Saad. I ain't talked to him in a minute, man. We got to link back up, bro. By the way, I don't know if you've been paying attention throughout this last year or so, bro. Almost 2 years now. You know, I don't drink anymore, so I'm sure our conversation will be quite different, and our relationship will be quite different. But we got to link back up. I'm gonna hit your line because, by the way, Saad, I love you, bro. I always have, man. I have nothing but respect and admiration for you, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm in a whole different place now, and that's really to me what it's all about. You know what I mean? Sheba says it's really about making decisions to cover another person with your whole heart. Yes, it's about reflection of what you love experiencing. What? Yeah, yes, sir. Love and respect, bro. Yes. Shout out, Sod, man. I'm gonna reach out to you, fam. We need to talk. You know what I'm saying, on some real shit, man. But I do love you, brother. Always have. You know what I'm saying? But what do we got, man? We got the comments going crazy a little bit. Jambo, Mr. Fab from Oakland, he do a free thug therapy, mental health every Wednesday for the black man and the black young men. Now, shout out to him, Mr. Fab. That's what's up. Yeah, I'm aware of Mr. Fab from Oakland. Yeah, but that's what it's all about, man. I mean, shit, I don't even know what the fuck else to say. You know,
We covered a lot. I think we covered a lot. We kind of jumped here and there and spoke about a couple different things.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, man, it's tell your fucking people you love them, man. Reach out to them. Reach out to somebody that you haven't talked to in a long time. Tell that motherfucker you love them. Tell them you care about them. That may be the difference for them. That really may be the difference. You know what I'm saying? We all need it. We all need communication with others. We all need to be around people. We all need to feel love and acceptance. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I ain't even gonna say like you got to be the bigger man because there's no bigger man in that. But sometimes you just got to do it even when you don't feel like you should. You know, maybe you're mad at your dad. Maybe y'all ain't been getting along. Maybe you mad at your mom. Fuck that. Maybe you mad at your mom and you ain't talked to her in a minute. Man, you better call that lady up. Tell her you love her. You know what I'm saying? Call that lady up. Call that man up. Tell him you love him. Like I said, it ain't got to be a conversation. Just call the motherfucker up and tell him you love him and you care about him. And you're just checking, see how they doing, and hang the fuck up. You know, keep it light. Keep it light. If you can't, if you don't feel the need to talk, then don't. But tell them you love them. Tell them you care about them. That's it. And maybe that'll open up the line of communication. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it'll open up that door to communication. You know, maybe you can get some understanding where you didn't have any understanding. You know what I mean? And I think these things, the more I get on this fucking journey, man, I'm telling you, it's just like things become way more clearer, at least for me, on my journey. I can't speak for anybody else's, but I think from my journey, it's me telling and expressing to people how I truly feel. That, you know, I've always been that way, though. I've always been what I thought was a good dude, but I had other things that were hampering me. But I always felt I was a good dude, and I always felt that I gave love, you know what I'm saying, accordingly. Yeah, you hear how I said that accordingly. Like I was very specific about who I said I love, but I am still specific. I'm only specific because I say if I tell you, like especially nowadays, if I tell you I love you and I care about you, trust it, believe it, know it, and it's not because I want anything. It's not because I'm trying anything. No, because I genuinely do, genuinely. Because what I'm finding out is that person that was inside of me screaming to fucking get out while I was living behind this mask of other shit was that same person. That same person wanted to tell everybody he loved them and cared about them, but was worried about what they were going to say in return, or was worried about other shit, worried about being looked at a certain way, or worried about somebody taking advantage of me, feeling like, you know what I mean, if I tell a motherfucker I love them, then they're going to take advantage of me. You know what I'm saying? Shiva says, that's so true. Life is unexpected, and closing things out with loved ones, the door opens to more mending in time. Yeah, big facts. Big facts. I haven't always been the greatest motherfucker. I still ain't the greatest motherfucker, but I know this. I do what I can every day to be better. I don't try. I do it every fucking day, no matter what is being thrown at me. And I don't have the greatest days every day. I don't have the days where I wake up and I'm fucking tiptoeing through tulips and shit. I have fucked up days, man. This man calls me all the time. He can hear it in my voice without me even how I even say hello. And but I have to keep myself aware. You know what I'm saying? And I tell people even when I haven't seen them in a long time, because I already know how I was when I was drinking and shit. So I immediately say, allow me to reintroduce myself. You know what I'm saying? But I do know genuinely how I've always felt in the inside. I just, my mom asked me one time before she passed, she said, you've always been the strongest and you've always done this and you've always done that. And I looked at her and I said, no, Mom, no, Mommy, I'm a coward. And she didn't understand that shit. And she, why do you say that? Don't ever say that about yourself. And I said, no, I am a coward. I'm a coward because I never stood up for what I really felt. I never stood up to the monster that was inside of me. I never stood up to it. And instead of making the right decisions, I made the wrong decisions. Instead of telling people I love them and everything else, I did other shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I did cowardly acts. That's a cowardly act to me, for me. And I'm talking about because I didn't have the courage within myself to say the things that I really wanted to say, to tell somebody that that I really loved them, that I really cared about them. You know what I'm saying? That's scary to me now, man. To think that I wouldn't tell somebody that I fucking love them, that's scary as shit to me. Before, I was too scared to tell somebody. Too scared. And as I said earlier, I was being selective, real selective of who I said it to. And even when I said it to him, I didn't say it like, you know, like I guess, I've been told it didn't feel like it. You know what I'm saying? I said, I love you, motherfucker. Yeah, well, what I'm finding out now is shit. They saying, hey, it didn't feel like it. You know what I'm saying? But my cowardliness to me was because I didn't do what I know my heart and my body and everything was telling me to do. And that was to tell people that I love them and I really do care. And I really do want to be a part of shit. And I was excluding myself because of my own fears and because of my own shit. And that shit hampered me, man. I don't want nobody to feel that way. Sheba says, we're all trying to figure this life thing out. God and caring for people has blessed me to want to cover others. Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. And I know there might be some motherfuckers out there listening or watching to this shit right now and thinking to themselves, this pussy ass shit they talk about. What they fucking trying to say? What are they trying to tell me I gotta go love on motherfuckers, man? Fuck all that. But trust and believe, man. Somebody loves your stupid ass too. Big facts. Somebody's probably bending over backwards for your ass to keep you out of trouble and keep your ass out of harm's way because they do love you. So how stupid is that? If that's your thought, why are you being soft and talking about love? Nobody want to hear that shit. Tell me how to get my credit score up or some shit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
How about this, man? How about your mom that's bailed you out of jail a million motherfucking times? Huh? How about when you were doing your bid and the motherfuckers was putting money on your books and they didn't have it to give? How about that? Hmm? How about your mom yelling at you every day when you step outside because she know you out there acting a fool and she's pleading with you because she loves you so much she doesn't want anything to happen to you, pleading with you to straighten up. You know how stupid is that? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe I'm talking too much. You know. Um, Sheba says, "Love heals. It blesses. It encourages a light of someone's darkness." Yeah, big facts. Big facts. And we all need to hear it. I love you, motherfucker. I mean, I really fucking love you, Jizzle. I told
Love
you
you
this like
too.
literally from day one when I
You
met
already
you.
know.
When like this, I'm not like an empath or anything like that, but I
am.
I saw you for who you were to me, to who you were to me, and I was like, man, I love this motherfucker, man. I like how he moves. I like what he says. I like, I fuck it. I love this motherfucker. And I told you, like literally, like the beginning of really knowing you and not seeing you from the outside, and just like having shout out to Epic One.
Shout out to
I told
Epic.
that motherfucker that night, man, like, man, it broke my heart that I had never reached out to him and
Yeah.
and shook a hand with him and everything, like it, like you just don't fucking know.
I'm happy I fixed my relationship with him and I'm
Yeah.
able to interact with him now. And
Yeah.
shit.
That's the dopest shit in the world. And I told him before he left, man, I fucking love you, bro, for real, man. And I love your courage. I like it was seeing him at Sub T's and standing there and confronting what could possibly be his own demise, and confronting it with a crowd of people.
That's rough.
Man, that's courage. That's fucking. How can you not love a person with courage like that?
I don't know if I could do it.
Shit.
I don't know if I don't know if I could do that, man.
Man, that's fucking
just be
courage,
we talk about being vulnerable on our other shows and stuff,
Yeah.
like, oh, it's about me, but man, we talking about some real life shit and really putting your story out there for the whole world to see. Like,
Yeah.
it's
crazy.
But
by the time we ended
also,
that show, I was like, man, I fucking love you, man. Like, for real, man.
But
God
he also
damn.
spoke about that, about making amends and saying that to people, and he messaged me prior to the interview and said, hey man, I'm really glad that we fixed our relationship and stuff. And
what does that say? Fambo podcast says people think if you say I love you, it makes you weak, and we need to stop and swallow our pride. Yeah, telling a motherfucker you love him don't make you weak, man. We just said that like a minute ago. That motherfucker.
And 1,000 other times we talk about that that's our regular theme on the show.
And it should be. It should be.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's important. It's in everything that we talk about. It's being able to say, tell people that you love them and shit, man, and just be open with them and shit.
Mm-hmm.
But it's weird if you're not used to it though. Like, real talk. Like, I remember someone saying it to me one time and I wasn't ready for it. And he like messaged me and was like, "Hey dog, I just want you to know I love you." And I wasn't expecting that from that person, because it didn't feel like it was like that. But yeah, normalize it. I was only shocked because people don't normally say that.
Right.
So
that reminds me of my birthday just passed, and my son said to me, he asked me, we were talking, and he's like, I want to do something with you on your birthday. And he said, what do you like to do? And my head exploded, bro. I called this man, and when we were talking, I was like, man, this crazy shit is, I don't think anybody's ever asked me what the fuck I like, because I didn't have a fucking clue, and I'm still thinking about it now. Like, what the fuck do I like to do? And then my daughter comes down, and she's standing there, she's telling me something, and I asked her, I was like, what do I like to do? And she looked at me dumbfounded. And she's like, well, I can't say music or anything like that, because you always do that. And I don't even count that. Because I love doing music and everything and all this shit, podcasting and all that. But what do I like to do? What do I enjoy? What do I like? Do I like skydiving? You know what I'm saying? Do I like hiking? Do I like fishing? Do I like going to movie theaters and like I don't even know. And my daughter looked at me. She goes, "That's crazy because I don't know, Dad. I don't know." And that fucked me up. That really fucked me up. Like I don't even know what the fuck I like to do. No, and then the crazy part is when the more I thought about it, the more I was thinking, "Fuck." I don't think anybody has ever stopped and asked me, "What the fuck do I like to do?"
Well, probably because what everyone assumed you wanted to do was sit there and drink.
Fuck no.
I mean, that's what you said you did.
No,
all
I know,
the
but
time.
I'm saying though, I'm just saying even like, I mean that's a good point, but even that, I mean like, I don't know. I just assume motherfuckers would be like, I don't know, but I only said that to say like how you were shocked about the person telling you that they loves you because no one had ever really said it to you like that. It was like the same. That's what came to my mind about the same thing, like about what like me not knowing what I like to do and shit. I don't know. It just puts everything kind of all even loving people and all that shit. Because then when I thought about it, I thought to myself like, well, maybe I was right. Nobody loved me, and that's why they never asked me. But that's not true. I didn't make myself available. You know what I'm saying? I didn't make myself available. And with that also too, like I said, my love had mad ass conditions. I was very selective on that shit.
Because you can't ask your kid, let's just say for the last 18 years, you were drinking. They were smaller back then, so it's not like they were hanging out with you when you were 30 and can be like, well, he likes this and he likes this. Like, yeah, I don't think they would know. Your sons wouldn't know.
No. But I'm saying like even in my 20s, ain't nobody ever asked me like, what the fuck do I like to do? Like on some real shit, nobody ever asked me. Nobody.
Did you figure it out since then? Like,
nah, I'm still, and this is some real shit, bro. It's really fucking with my head because I legitimately don't know what I like to do.
Have you thought about things and said, okay, I like this, I don't like this? Yeah. Like we talked about fishing on the phone. I said, well, should fucking go fishing or something. And you're like, I don't like that. So you've thought about things and just haven't said, I don't like.
I mean, I don't know, man. I fished when I was a kid. I mean, but to me, it was just like being adventurous and going out and doing shit. When I was a little kid, we had free reign. Like, so fuck, we go wandering off and doing shit all the fucking time. And sometimes fishing was part of that. You know what I mean?
But you do like things like, let's say, all right, let's just say like the wife comes down with the kids right now and says, all right, well, and it was earlier, not what the time it is, but instead, all right, we're going to the movies, and you go to the movies. You won't like that. Like you won't like it.
Yeah, I'll like it, but my brain will go off into other shit. Like, I mean, not nowadays. Like nowadays, I like fuck. I want to do everything with everybody. Like for real. Like, if I tell a motherfucker I love him, I want to hang out with him. I want to go somewhere. I want to do something. But as far as me personally, like what I like to do, no, I don't know. I don't know. And in generally speaking, especially before, I always had way too much shit on my mind and way too much shit troubling me that I never even gave it a thought. And also too, a lot of times, things that were asked of me, they weren't asked in a nice way. They weren't asked, it was like, go out and fuck this motherfucker up, or go out and you better go kill this motherfucker. You better, and that shit may sound crazy, but that's what it was.
What about people that are watching? All of you guys that are watching right now, if there's something that you like to do, I don't know. I guess it's corny, but like put it in the fucking comments. Like, but the big question is, do y'all have something that y'all like to do, or are you also in a place where you're not sure what you like to do? Because, like for instance, when me and he talked about it, and he asked me, I said to myself, well, I only like this. Like, I just like this being on my computer, doing music, going to shows, networking about music, doing interviews. Like, this is what I like. But I don't mind going fishing. I'll fucking go rollerblading or something, or I'll go hiking, or I'll do other shit. But the shit I like, it's this. So I don't know how easily dismissible it is when, they said, well, you do music, so we can't talk about that. Like for me, that is what it is.
What do you like to do for fun? Like that. I mean, when
yeah, but they said, well, your daughter said, I can't bring up music because you do that all the time.
Because I always say, because and because
it's fun.
It is that it is no. It's I've been doing this
for
shit
me.
So
it's
long.
Fun.
No, I'm not saying it's not fun, but it's also for me. It's therapeutic, man. I've been doing music literally like my entire life, so me not having music to do is like a psychopath not having a goddamn therapist,
How
bro.
did you
Like,
feel in the 8 or 9 years that you had in a gap that you told me about where you didn't make any music? Was it like
I was insane. I was out of my mind.
constantly biting at you type shit?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. That's why my kids say that, you know, about music with me. You know, if I'm being really troubled and I don't have somebody to talk to, I have music and I talk through that. You know what I'm saying? At least for me, it's therapeutic. But even that doesn't work all the fucking time, as far as being therapeutic. But like for me, like to go, oh shit, today's my day to go race my fucking RC car. You know what I mean? And actually, I had said, like, man, you know, I think I would like to do that, like build an RC car, like a gas powered one, and because I remember driving by recently, somebody by the park, and there was like a whole bunch of dudes, and they had their RC cars, and they were all gas powered, and they were all out there. They had their little custom shits, and I thought to myself, I was like, oh shit, that looks like it could be fun. But as easily as I said that, and as quickly as that thought came, the thought went immediately away. Like, man, fuck that.
Like kick it with the fellas. Some people just do that. They go to work all week, do their thing, and they just on the weekend, on Saturday or Sunday, they go and kick it with the fellas for 2-3 hours. Fambo podcast said, "I like to travel because I like to see other places." That's something interesting. I enjoy traveling too. As a dad, Saad Kato said, "As a dad, we have to live selfless lives. I like being left alone." So yeah, that's what he enjoys being. I think we all have our thing. Like I said, for me, it's music and other little things, but primarily this. I don't really care about other shit. Shout out to my girl, man. She watches Netflix and stuff, and she said, "Have you watched Griselda yet?" And bro, I doesn't call to me to watch series. I'll watch a movie for 2 hours, but I don't want to watch series. But I did it, and I had a good time doing it. I just watched the damn movie. You know, it's something I won't do on my own. I will never just go watch Netflix, but I'll do it with someone else. Like I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes it's not always about what we like to do, but you know, also
like what you like to do for fun.
Do shit
for fun.
Do
like,
shit with other people.
I don't know. Like when you think of like going around doing like fun shit, like I don't know, like fucking walking around on Navy Pier or some shit, or fucking, you know, going and playing basketball out, you know,
smoking Mary Jane,
going and getting high and going on a fucking hike. You know what I'm saying?
Some people just like, it's weird, like old Fullerton days, but there's still some people that I know my age that like to get in the car, turn on a blunt and get a beer and drive up Fullerton back and forth like to the lake and shit. And yeah, everyone's got their thing, man. I hope that fucking, you know, I know you're still thinking about it, but there's gotta be something you like, man.
I know. I mean, like there's a world of shit out there. I mean, there's got to be something that fucking interests me.
If you start knitting, though, I'm getting on your ass. So don't start knitting.
I mean, shit. You never know, man. I might fuck around and be a world class knitter, man. Yeah, and I know somebody's gonna take that and turn it into me saying world class nigger, but whatever. I mean, it just fucking came across my mind right now.
It won't be me.
Yeah. I don't know. You can't be trusted when it comes to cameras and shit. But
shout out to the 8 people that's watching with us, wherever y'all watching from.
Yeah, shout out to people watching on Rumble. Shout out to everybody watching on Facebook. And by the way, we will be moving away from Facebook, so y'all better go to the YouTube channel and go to the Rumble channel, because this is the only way you're going to be able to watch this shit from now on. And shout out to those that have already subscribed to the channel. As a matter of fact, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and hit that share. You know what I'm saying? We can bringing you guys all kinds of content. We're really hyper focused on this shit, on everything that we do over here at Unwrap Studio and the Shy City Cypher and Trash Tales and motherfucking the Check In and Whoop De Whoop and motherfucking Unwrap the Podcast. You know what I'm saying? We doing our Thug Thizzle over here, you know. And we want the support from our people. We want support from everybody, man. So hit that like, subscribe, and hit that share. Sheba, she rocks with us. Yeah. I don't know. This, I think we're gonna call it one for the night, man. I think that was a beautiful message, you know, and I think it needed to be said tonight. You know what I mean? You know how we do, like whatever the feeling is or the thought is of that day is what we're gonna talk about, and that's what we're gonna do always, I believe. You know what I'm saying? But I just felt really strongly upon me, man, to tell everybody that if you love somebody, man, let them know. If you care about somebody, let them know. You ain't got to do shit else. Just call them or show up at the job. You're like, hey, man, just came in to say hi, man. Check in on you, man. You good? Yeah, all right, that's all. I don't want shit else. I don't want nothing else. Take a text message. Cost you nothing. Text them, hey, I'm just thinking about you, man. Hope you're having a good day. Or just thinking about you, honey, or baby, or your boo, or whoever the fuck you with. They might need it. You know what I'm saying? Seriously might need it. And that's it for us, man. It's been beautiful. Thank you, everybody, for watching and checking in with us, man.
Peace, y'all.
You know, we out of this bitch. Y'all take care. We love you.